They say I walk like a king, talk like a king. You can act around now, say the same thing. They chasing the fame, they all want the name. But they ain't got what's running through these veins. Say I walk like a king, talk like a king. You can act around now, say the same thing. They chasing the fame, they all want the name. But they ain't got what's running through these veins. Make way for the king. Stretch, no limousine. If you talking winners, gotta intervene. I'm the biggest one that you ever seen. I'ma need a crown. I'm the only one that ever held it down at the tip top. People flip flop every day, not I. Top 5, I'm a big shot. I'm the one that wanna take the big shots. Big balls, big rings, big rocks, big bag, big moves, big cars, big man, big plan. Get lost, we've been this wrong. Look at me now, can't hold me down. So give me the crown.
现场的球迷，最大的掌声加尖叫给我们新北国王啦队 New Taipei Queens！感谢我们女王们带来季后赛全新的排舞，跟我们女王们一起为我们新北国王加油应援。
相信诸位已经迫不及待，季后赛 Game One， 新北国王对决台北台新战神，双方球员准备就绪。首先为各位介绍客队台北台新战神篮球队。3号丁胜儒，6号将军，8号陈文宏，9号张兆成，11号黄聪汉，13号米勒，24号王绿翔，41号苏义静，57号曹勋江。接下来进场的是先发人 Starting Five，2号麦卡伦，18号莫尔曼，23号钱肯尼，33号雷蒙恩，62号陈冠全，总教练许浩琛，助理教练林水天、米兰，球员发展教练杨哲仪，领队尚瑞强，总经理林佑廷，执行长黄万荣。
OK， 客队球员进场完毕，接下来将进入属于新北国王的时刻。在王者们踏上战场之前，让我们先用节奏点燃整座主场。这是一支在各大赛事中屡创佳绩、实力备受肯定的队伍。他们是节奏的掌控者，也是我们击鼓松声的王者。接下来就让节奏之王为我们揭开荣耀的序章。现场的球迷朋友们，掌声欢迎新北高中打击乐团！ 场的球迷朋友们，跟着我们的乐团一起，跟着节奏一起敲打。现场的球迷朋友们，最大的掌声加尖叫给我们的新北高中打击乐团！现在呢，邀请所有的球迷朋友们一起把我们的目光放向上方大荧幕。
We rise in every practice, every game, every opportunity. We reign with fire. This is our kingdom. This is our crown. And when the buzzer sounds, this is our moment. We repeat. Let's do it again.
Are you ready?
We ready！
接下来进场的是新北国王，首先为各位介绍 Number 10微笑射手 JJ 简佑哲 ，Number 13皇家狙击手 Number 吕正路 ，Number 17再来一盘莫大苏醒苏世轩 ，Number 55禁卫军空中冲锋部队 Kenny Manigo。 接下来为各位介绍新北国王先发5人 ，Starting Fight Number 9新北飙风玫瑰林凯燕 ，Number 31巴勒斯坦战士 桑尼萨卡皮尼 ，Number 1左右开弓，Joseph Lee 林书伟 ，Number 42新北战斗陀螺，Jason Washburn。 It's time. Number 7， 展现王者风范，掌控全场节奏。家人类林书豪。总教练阮马上助理教练 Thomas Vacapella 林振宇，球队经理洪世甫李问娟。 心理咨询师 Clay Daniel， 首席体能教练张崇熙，体能教练刘振宇，防务员邱国凯、吴崇豪，经济影片分析师李维恩，总经理毛家恩，执行长陈信生，董事长王文祥。
现场的球迷朋友们，在这个时候可以跟着音乐一起敲打节奏。Let's go, let's go, let's go！ 好的，现场的球迷朋友们，现在呢又来到我们最熟悉的时间。接下来呢，要邀请到我们新北国王啦啦队 New Taipei Queens 来到我们的场中央，跟我们一起复习呢我们的进攻以及防守。All right， 现在是怎样？ 怎么回事？季后赛你们现在也跳了其他舞风就对了。好了，等我们的女王们准备好，那我们接下来呢要来复习的，也就是我们的进攻以及防守。首先呢，我们先从我们最重要的防守开始做起，也希望呢现场的所有球迷朋友们，趁着这个时候可以拿起你的拍拍扇，还没折好的朋友也可以趁这时候先把拍拍扇折起来。好的 ，DJ 上，首先让我们来练习防守，那就来一起捍卫我们的王城吧。现场的球迷，让我们一起防守 ，Let's go！
防守，
防守。
防守，
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 防守。没错，这就是我们的防守。接下来进攻的时候，你们会听到砰砰啪啪啪，就喊出新北国王。那这边呢，记得一定要把你们的声音喊出来，就交给你们喽。DJ 上，让我们一起进攻。 Let's go！ 新北国王，换你们！没错，新北国王 ，Yes sir！ 希望呢，等一下我们可以再一次把我们新庄城堡的天花板给掀起来，就交给你们的拍拍扇以及你们的声音。 接下来我们要播放的就是我们的主题曲，也就是《Corner City》。Everybody put your hands up！ Come on！ Let's go！ One more time！ 再来一次 ，We gotta win！ 再来一次，再来一次，再来一次。Everybody say！ Let's go！ Say what？ We gotta win！ 现场的球迷朋友们，掌声献给我们的新北国王啦啦队！当然，最大的尖叫声献给我们的新北国王！季后赛的第一场， 希望你们把所有的精神拿出来，捍卫属于我们的新庄城堡。All right， 谢谢我们的新北国王啦啦队，大家记得跟我们的 Queens 们一起在场边加油应援。Let's go Kings！
All eyes on us, all eyes on one goal. You're watching the 2024-25 TPBL playoffs. Tonight, the Friday night lights shine bright over the Xingzhuang Rem for Game 1 of the Group A playoff series. The 4th seed Taipei Taishin Mars set off for battle against the 1st seed former Plus League champions, the new Taipei Kings. We got a 5 o'clock tip-off start as we see our Mandarin-speaking broadcasters, including local YouTube star Xiao Hu. Big thanks to AXN and KC Global Media for providing the English feed. Don't forget, you can tune into all TPBL playoff games on YouTube. Just look up AXN Asia. My name is Taylor Chen, and with me is Scotty D. Scotty D, how are you feeling about today's game?
I'm doing all right. Now, I'm going to take a moment here and properly introduce the woman to my left. Asia holds over half of Earth's population, and the list of female broadcasters begins and ends with Taylor Chen. If a basketball is being dribbled in Taiwan, she'll hear it. She'll tell you who's dribbling it, what their player status is, where they come from, and likely if the ball needs air. She taught me all the names of the players we see here today, with the lone exception being Jeremy Lin. AXN Sports, lucky to have you, TC, and I've got my notepad ready to assist you wherever I can.
That's a heck of an introduction, Scotty D. Thank you so much for all the flowers given, and credit to you and all of our rotations in the English broadcast. Again, big thanks to AXN Asia, but we return back to the game as we take a look at the current graphics right now. According to the TPBL stats, Taipei Taishin Mars are ranked 1st in scoring in the paint. However, looking at the screen right now, Jeremy Lin could be the candidate for MVP of the season. There's no signs of him slowing down. He's got the best player efficiency rating amongst all locals, and he is top 10, including import players as well as local players. That is no small feat, as he's rocking some new hair color today, or he re-bleached his ends.
He's always got a fresh haircut and plays well. That bodes well for the Kings today with a fresh hairdo.
就是其实我们第2年也能够打进到季后赛，对我们全队来讲都是一个非常好的一个肯定。那我们今年就是在第1轮的时候挑战是到国王，所以当然他们的经验非常的好。那我们在于说我们的轮替的人可以比较多，而且我们的年纪也稍微比较轻一点，所以在整体的攻防的速度上面，我们会提醒我们的球员要能够在这一个系列赛当中尽量的去消耗他们的体力。那我觉得就是说在我们进攻方面，如果能够外线的稳定性能够再持续的提升的话，就对于我们在这系列赛就会有很大的帮助。其实今年我想对于我们球队最大的收获就在于可能就是新秀联盟了，因为他其实在大学的时候并没有太多的上场时间，而且他打的位置也是在属于4号位置的，所以其实他加入到我们球队的时候，我们也花蛮多时间去培养他，让他往3号甚至2号、1号的位置去走。那当然有时候他在比赛的过程当中，他也会陷入到自我怀疑啊，或者说陷入低潮的时候，那我们还是一样，就是可能在隔天的休息日的时候，就是找影片来去跟他沟通讲解。那其实我觉得他也非常的自律，然后他也非常的谦虚，所以我觉得他的未来真的是非常的不可限量。
That's head coach Robbie Shirhoughton talking about pre-game notes. Now, their goal tonight is to make the Kings work extra hard. As I mentioned earlier in the pre-game player introductions, they only have 9 people on the active roster for the new Taipei Kings. That's right, they split up their roster. They're currently playing out in Ulaanbaatar.
Yeah, I think they've done a really good job over the last couple years. Obviously, their head coach worked here as an assistant for a few years for us, so he knows our system well. They do a lot of the same stuff that we do. I think with their team, they have a lot of young guys. When it comes to playoffs, you really just have to pay attention to everybody. That's the most important thing. You can key in on 1 or 2 guys, but the reality is you have to focus on everybody. Anybody can make an impact, even if it's just for 5 minutes. So our focus is going to be on everyone and knowing exactly what they do. Really, before the BCL roster went to Mongolia, we were focused on the game here in Taiwan. So even those guys were focused on our game plan here. Once they left, they have to focus on 2 different game plans for BCL Final Four. So their focus is on those games right now. Obviously, the group here is focused on these games against the Mars. But once those guys return, they'll have to flip that switch and be ready for this game. So it's definitely not easy for our guys, but it's something that we have to deal with, and we're going to do our best to be successful with that.
Perfect transition, as Coach Ryan Marchand mentioned, the Basketball Champions League of East Asia. They're currently in the Final Four out in Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia. So as of right now, they also have 9 people on their lineup. Now, Scott, this is a little bit reminiscent of preseason. Now, they were injury laden, so they only played with 9 players during the preseason. So tough goings, but we see in their starting 5 lineup, they can play over 30 minutes on the court.
When you got Jeremy Lin in your roster, you're always set up to win a basketball game here in Taiwan.
As earlier on the screen, we see Nelson Lingping Sun played for the Taipei Taishin Mars last season, was the 6th man of the year, nominated as most improved player. He just won the CBA championships. Now his team will be participating in the Basketball Champions League in Asia out in Dubai, as we have our referees tonight.
Real playoff atmosphere in here on a Dragon Boat Festival weekend. The fans have turned up.
As we have our starting lineup for the Taipei Taishin Mars, Ray McCallum, Kenny Chen, Sam Manu, Pong Pong, as well as Adrian Mormon. For the new Taipei Kings, Jeremy Lin, Joseph Lin, Kyle Lee Kayen, Sani Sakakini, as well as Jason Washburn. Yeah, you're right, Scott. We got a 5 o'clock tip-off. Today is an official holiday. So a day off for all of us living in Taiwan.
They were the new Taipei Kings, but now they're the Kings of New Taipei, finishing the regular season the top seed, facing the number 4 seed right now, who had to battle to get here in that play-in game. My goodness, big games from the locals, Sammy Manu and Kenny Chen, to put them in this position. Game 1 here, about to get underway.
Yeah, absolutely. The Taipei Taishin Mars had really their backs up against the wall on that Game 3 play-in, but the job is not done. This is what we're really seeing is a David and Goliath kind of storyline. Now, talking to Sam Manu before the game, he's actually really excited to be here. He wanted to play against the new Taipei Kings, obviously up against the Jeremy Lin, as we're seeing on the screen. But also for him, he sees a really amazing possible redemption arc in
Sammy
this
Manu,
series. Yeah.
My pick for Rookie of the Year. He's a shot blocker, rim rocker, whatever the team needs him to do.
Yeah, actually going back to Coach Robbie's interview as we start off, the Kings in black and the Mars in red. Coach Robbie gave Manu his flowers. He actually didn't play that many minutes in UC Davis, and he actually was a position 4 player. So here we're really seeing his versatility after graduating from Davis. Ball gets poked out, back to the Mars. Here comes Sammy Manu, potential Rookie of the Year. Now today we're not seeing the Mars playing big. Michael Eric is sitting out today. Instead we have Adrian Mormon as well as Malcolm Miller in the active roster. Pong Pong's first shot blanks. Thought about it. Joseph kicks it out. On the perimeter is Kyle. Manu tasked to guard number 9.
Both teams coming out in man-to-man defense. Love the intensity in man-to-man.
Pretty good matchup as Manu tosses it up behind the backboard.
Mars putting a lot of faith in Adrian Mormon starting today.
Typically, Adrian Mormon and Malcolm Miller are pretty interchangeable. Oftentimes you see actually Miller with Eric or Eric with Mormon. So today is actually only their 7th game where we have Miller as well as Mormon. Mormon sat out a couple of games, or Miller sat out a couple of games due to a concussion. But is back on the roster. Here's Joseph Lin at the line.
First point of the ball game, not Jeremy Lin, brother Joseph.
It's their
They haven't played in 2 weeks. Interesting to see what kind of cohesion they're going to have with a 9-man roster, having not played in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, this is a good test to see if 2 weeks is beneficial for them, or if sitting too relaxed will hurt them. And as we mentioned before, it's only a nine-person roster as Ray McCallan drops a long 2. No call but made by the referees. Here comes Cayenne, skips it. And a kick out. Sakakini going in tough against Mormon. Too short, but Washburn under the basket. And the Kings get a 3rd chance opportunity. Curl in with a kick out of bounds.
Left his feet to pass. Tough one, turnover for the Kings early here.
Now, earlier in the graphics, in the pregame, the Kings are ranked #1 in terms of points per game, rebounds, assists. They really dominate in the league, but the one thing that the Taipei Taishin Mars have over them are offensive rebounds, and that's due part to Samuel Manu as well as Mormon. His rebound rate is quite impressive.
Mormon takes 8 threes a game, 22%. He's got to be useful out there collecting rebounds.
Jeremy, the long 2, that rattles just out too short, but Sakakini trying to get the putback in. No Mars players able to get the board.
Hong Kong with the rejection. Sakakini upset. Gets his own rebound, can't finish the bunny, and Hong Kong blocks him here on this fadeaway. Good defense, number 62.
Good effort, though, considering he was outnumbered 4-1 there. And a big mistake made by Barry, and Jeremy Lin makes him pay. 4-2 Kings.
Barry didn't get a lot of time on the floor. Big mistake there to start the game. Like to see Barry have a good game, hit a 3-pointer or 2.
Hand off to Kenny Chen. Against Joseph Lin. They're very familiar with each other, playing in the semifinals. Mormon forces a very contested 2. And a quick dish and swish, but does not connect. Hand in the cookie jar, body's on the floor, and we got ourselves a jump ball. Good hustle between multiple players on both sides.
Players getting on the floor. This is a playoff game, round 1. Who wants it more?
Now, the Mars have that slight advantage where they have more of a rotation. The New Taipei Kings very much limited with 9 people.
Gonna jump it here. McCallum and Kyle evenly jumped.
Pretty similar in terms of height.
Nice pass.
Oh, lay it to Sakakini, beautiful dime. Had a gnarly nose fracture playing against the Taipei Mars a month ago. McCallan's shot, books it, but Pong Pong recovers it. Unfortunately, Kyle's gonna get the save. Washburn ready to go under, but Pong Pong coming out from the dark.
All over the ball, Hong Kong.
Catch and shoot for Barry, does not connect, too short.
Hong Kong went flying out of bounds on one end and then got it on the other baseline.
Yeah, he can hustle quite well. Plays for the national Chinese Taipei team. As Barry gets his first personal. Now, he previously played for the dissolved Taiwan Beer Hero Bears. Now, that organization really excelled in shooting, but a lot of these players, they separated ways, and Barry, unfortunately, his shooting percentage took a significant dip.
Early foul on Kenny Chen. The one-man double team plays really close. Referees let him play sometimes. That one there looked like a regular season foul. Playoffs now. Referee inbounds it off of Jeremy Lin's foot.
Yeah, he did not catch that. A little bit late to react. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Kings ahead by 2 possessions. And Washburn returns a favor, and it pays off. Jeremy Lin drops another 2. We see a sub getting ready. Jeremy Lin comes in, another back-to-back bucket. Coming in hot. We need a heat check here at Xinzhuang Gymnasium as Coach Robbie calls for a timeout. Score currently.
Make it hot, make it stop, take it a little lower. When you drop, let them watch just a little longer. Cause when you meet anywhere, it's a dance floor. Give a beat and you get what he asked for. Stop, make it hot, make it
Alright， 掌声给我们的新北国王大队 New Taipei Queens， 也请我们的女王们赶快到我们的场边为我们新北国王加油应援。
We're back here at Xinzhuang Stadium. Big thanks to AXN and KC Global Media. Taylor Chen and Scotty D on the broadcast. Kings take the lead 10-2. Kenny, the drive in, and Jeremy Lin goes high for the board, and there's a diamond toss-up.
Bodies flying. Jeremy Lin skied for that rebound. Found his brother cutting down the floor. Not his brother. Kyle, his teammate. Send Kyle to the free throw line. 10 points for the Kings, 2 points for Ray McCallum. So far, the Mars are 1 for 7 from the floor.
Finally getting in some subs from the Taipei Taishin Mars side. Malcolm Miller as well as Ding at number 3 are coming in.
Malcolm Miller provided a spark off the bench immediately in that game 3. Couple triples and a dunk. Mars had to battle to get here in a play-in series where they got blown out. You called that game, TC. They got blown out by 45 on a Friday, and then they put up a competitive game, won by 2 on Sunday.
I think the Mars, including myself, would like to put that game behind, that first game behind us. As Sam Manu said in the post-game press conference, that just wasn't how the Taipei Taishin Mars play. And you know, they did a major reset on Sunday, but let's see if they perform well tonight with a quick turnaround. And as you mentioned, Scott, Kings have a cushy 2-week break.
Doesn't seem to affecting them so far.
And deep in the elbow. Thank you very much. Kenny Chen cashes in his first 3. Ray McCallum, the only player to put any points on the board. Now we got Kenny Chen. That's a screen deep from Palo Alto. Joseph Lin answers with a 3 himself.
Almost like a dare shot from Joseph Lin.
He's got 5 points now. He's tasked to guard Kenny. There's a switch off. Miller finds Mormon driving downhill. Manigault gets the personal.
Manigault tried to step in front of the pass. A little too aggressive. Right in front of the referee. Good steal from Mormon. Where's the offense going to come from for the Taishin Mars?
Shot clock reset. Ding at the helm. Osaka Kini protecting the gates. Any crossover made by Kenny Chen. Beautiful finish.
The other crossover around the back. Lost me watching it with my eyes.
Getting us looking dizzy, and Kenny Manigault, though, quick to answer back. It's a battle between the two Kennys on the court right now. Kenny Chen hit his season high, playing against the New Taipei Kings, scored 23 points.
He was the X factor in that win back on March 1st.
Still Mars' possession.
Kenny Chen was also the X factor in Game 3 of that play-in series. The difference maker, 20 points, 8 for 16 from the floor.
Finally seeing Jeremy Lin get some respite. We have Sushi Sushi coming in. A handoff to Ding. Under the baseline. Travel call made by crew chief right there at the baseline.
Erase that thunder dunk.
Yeah. Undue. That baseline referee got eagle eyes. And Sherelton's Robbie still arguing with number 45. A little bit of a delay, but in the meantime, 41 Allen comes in. Needs to be Adrian Mormon getting a breather. Has yet to score in the game. Manu now guarding Manigault. And Joe Lin, too strong, but Sushi under gets the board. Fumbles the ball, here comes Kenny Chen. Another crossover. And they reset for the secondary, 13 seconds left on the shot clock. The lob out, and here's Allen with his first bucket.
Good luck on offense from the Mars, getting everybody involved.
Quick pass, kick out, back out to the perimeter. Manigault from the left, tosses it. But Miller fights for the board. Fumbles the ball, Manigault. Waiting for the trailers. And here comes JJ for three, off the mark though.
4-on-2, they elect to shoot a three-pointer.
Had the look, but not the touch. This is back to the Mars with 4 minutes left in the first quarter. It's a mismatch in size. Ooh, Manigault gets his hand in the cookie jar. Almost succeeds too. There's a step back finish, but couldn't connect. Out of the circle. Kings so far still with a cushy lead, 16-9. JJ shakes off Ding Ding out of bounds, so still Kings possession as Jeremy and Jay Wash comes back in, McAllen as well. And makes a bucket there.
Missed defensive assignment on that out-of-bounds play. They didn't even need to run it. Manigault just flashed to the basketball.
Yeah, the Mars' key for today is not only finding an X factor, but also really their defense. They gotta hold the Kings down below 90 points. Otherwise, all the games that the Kings have won, they're all over 100 points as Ding gets his and one.
Need this guy Ding to get going. So aggressive, has big games, and then goes invisible some games.
And he's a pretty young player still. He's 25 years old, but he's been in the finals 3 times in his career. So last season with the Mars, and as well as playing for the now dissolved Taichung Suns. Now, I don't know if you remember this, Scott, but actually Ding was teammates with Sani Sakakini when they were playing in the finals.
Back when he played with the Suns, that's before my time, TC.
So it's the Taichung Suns playing against the Kaohsiung Aquas back in the 21-22 season. A little bit of a crossover, step back for three by Jeremy. That was out in a different zip code.
Bit drafty in here. I think the wind picked that one up.
Yeah, just a little bit. Coco's coming in.
No shortage of subs available for the Mars, as the Kings have only dressed 9 players for today's game.
Yeah, typically the minimum of players that you can register is, I believe, 12 players, but they really made an exception for the Kings for their participation in the BCL. Pump fake, and JJ gets a foul.
Bumped him.
Body bumps Coco out of the baseline. With that pushing foul, the Kings now have 3 team fouls as we have our very senior player, number 13, Liu Zhenlu Liu, coming on. McCallan going downhill, double team, kicks it out, finds the outlet. Here's Malcolm Miller, step back for 3. He blanks it.
Tough shot there.
Washburn sidesteps, that rattles in.
Get a bully ball from Washburn, 2 points. 20-11 in favor of the Kings.
Yeah, you don't want to be guarding up against the charging train. I mean, that's how he is. He's 7 feet tall. Look away pass, kick out to Coco. Doesn't land the 3. Ooh.
Coco went 3 for 6 in that elimination game. They're going to need him to knock down some of those open looks.
See the ball get batted around.
Looks like it's going to stay here with the Mars.
Looks like Manigault's not going to contest that. McCallan at the baseline, he tries to find an outlet. Seven seconds, ball gets batted out of bounds. The Mars getting another turnover.
McCallan would like that one back. Dipsy doodle around the back, 1 too many dribbles.
Yeah, what we're really seeing quite often towards the end of the season is the Mars having a tough time converting those possessions into points. They're just, particularly up against New Taipei Kings again. They have a 4-2 record as Manigault from the corner.
My experience calling Mars games, I've never called a Mars loss. I'm gonna jinx him now.
Again, the last game they played against each other was back in May 9th. Kings took the win over the Mars. Here is a catch and shoot made by Ray McCallan up top. He now logs in 5 points for the Mars.
Good defense, no referee failed to know the foul.
Caught in a double team, he draws a foul. Looks to be on number...
That's what's been working for the Kings all season. Go inside to Washburn and kind of let him go to work. He's gifted with what I call size. 7 feet tall. Kind of looks like he's walked into a JV gym as a senior player here.
Now Washburn is truly, you talk about the size, but he's also quite a workhorse. A Clydesdale, if you will.
Knows his role, plays close to the hoop, good playing with his back to the basket. Has that smooth finish with that hook shot.
Got the most minutes played this season amongst all of the import players.
Former import player of the year, you mentioned earlier.
Formerly played for the Tauren Puren Pilots. The Kings are playing against the Pilots right now in Mongolia. Here's McCallan. 2. Washburn goes high up for the board.
Kings are playing simultaneously here and in Mongolia today.
That's right. Ooh, shot too strong. Ball gets batted out. Malcolm Miller recovers it.
I'll have to look that one up. If they get 2 wins on 2 different countries at the same day, that could be a record.
That would be a record. Manu comes in with a sledgehammer. 20 seconds left in the first quarter, and he makes his first splash.
DC and I had front row seats to that right here on the baseline. Throw it down, Sammy Manu.
Again, we're talking about before the tip-off. Manu is excited for this series.
Surprisingly tall at 6'6".
3 seconds for the 3.
Referee's gonna bail him out with 3 free throws. Jeremy Lin, the fresh blonde hair, soon to be frosted tips.
Just with 1.5 seconds left even.
Stepped on the line, is it a 3? Yeah, it was a 3. Sui Jin came into his landing area. Got to protect the shooter. Now the Kings are drawing the rectangle. Take us through this, TC. Why do they want to review here?
They want to, so what they want to do is they want to contest the call, because as of right now, the referees are calling it just a regular foul. Now, typically, they've been pretty consistent with a cylindrical foul. They usually give it a unsportsmanlike. So we'll see if the referees will take a look on their own will and volition. That is something that they can do. But as of right now, we'll see. Crew chief is talking to Coach Ryan Marchand. He's pretty heated right now.
This is the rule that came into fruition many NBA playoffs ago when Zaza Pachulia stepped into Kawhi Leonard's landing area and he sprained his ankle so badly, ended his career in San Antonio.
We have seen this play happen quite often here at Xinjiang Stadium. Whether it's a foul made on a Kings player or it was a Kings player making this cylindrical foul.
It's a dangerous foul. The shooter's ankle coming down on the defender. You roll an ankle, you break an ankle, you got to protect the shooter. As I like to say, they have a phone booth worth of space up and down.
Kings unhappy with that call. The call still stands as a regular foul. Now, understandably, I can understand why the Kings would be frustrated, because as I said, referees are pretty consistent with giving the U whenever we see those fouls throughout the season.
The referee must have decided that Jeremy Lin kicked his legs up as well, but Sui Jin did enter. Anyways, referee's discretion, call has been made.
You can kind of see number 45 gesturing that Lin kind of did a little kick, so I think he's implying that he was generous with the call. Lin will be at the line for 3 baskets.
Jeremy Lin on the free throw line. The most points scored ever by the starting player, 3 in a row, 4 in a row, and 5 in a row. Back in 2013. Well, we called that era Linsanity. I was in Taiwan for that. They had pubs playing his games on repeat the entire week, possibly a month. Some of the players he plays with, I wonder how old some of these guys were when Linsanity took place. Who's the youngest guy on the Kings roster?
Well, not at Xinjiang, that's for sure. 1.5 seconds goes down to 0. That's how we conclude the first quarter for game 1 of the Series A playoffs.
我们的嘟嘟妹伊人也来到我们现场了。今天课表有完成吗？有跑完步才来吗？来跟着我们的 Ken 呢，一起呢舞动你的双手，一起 say hi。我们很多人都来到我们现场，欢迎你们！我们球场的首席第一排，感受我们现场的震撼。来，我们跟镜头挥挥手。 都来了还不好意思，我们爸爸跟小朋友也跟我们镜头挥挥手。Hello， 欢迎来到新庄体育馆，一起来换上我们季后赛的 T 恤。好，看一下你的板板，林书伟的粉丝。Hello，welcome to stadium。Oh, that's nice, that's nice。这个爱心，国际通用手势。 跟着我们的 Sushi， Hey Yo， 自己做的小板板 ，Jason Washburn 的小板板，以及我们 Sunny， 准备好哦，很准备好。小朋友们之后可以来参加我们国王的训练营，小训练营。纯佩来到我们现场，今天不是来工作吧？来看球。Hello， 欢迎来到新庄体育馆。
We're live here at Xinjiang Stadium for Game 1 of the Group A Series. Rise, reign, and repeat as we have the Kings with a 2-game home advantage. Score currently 27-16. Scott, your thoughts on the first quarter so far?
Well, the Lin brothers have combined for 13 points. The Mars need to get more aggressive and try to get to the free throw line. They only went to the free throw line one time in that first quarter, 0 for 1. The Kings have managed to get to the free throw line 7 for 9 on their attempts. Mars are going to need to get something, going to the hoop, a little more aggressive, and try to put these Kings, who only have 9 players, in foul trouble.
As of right now, it's kind of a little bit, we're seeing roles reverse as Ray McCallum fumbles the ball out of bounds.
Jeremy Lin got bumped. Okay, Google, what's the capital of Thailand? There you have your answer.
Holding on to his mid, looks like, ooh, Ray McCallum shoulders him in the stomach. Definitely knocks the wind out of you. Referees saw the turnover first as Manigault brings it back over to the Kings side. Again, Kings with a very limited rotation. Not many people, not many bodies to spare.
4 Mars converged on that pass.
Baseline trying to find Coco. We have a small group of Mars fans behind the Mars bench. The bullet pass to Coco. He drives in, does not get the and one, but gets a chance at the free throw line.
So he wouldn't get blocked, but he couldn't finish. Good take from Coco. That's that trip to the free throw line they're going to need. Get aggressive, go to the hoop. Get some rhythm going here at the free throw line, make some free throws. As we see Pong Kong enter the game for Sui Jin Allen.
Coco also has quite a bit of playoff experience. Was teammates with Ding Ding as well as Sakakini in that Taichung Suns finals campaign.
I do remember Coco from the Suns.
As of right now, the Mars are 0 for 2 at the line. Make it 1 for 3. Despite a short roster, Mars having a tall task tonight. They've only won 2 games against the Kings. Both of them, there was always something off with the Kings. Here's a long-range 2 made by Manigault that hits the backboard and out. The first one, Kyle and Jeremy Lin did not play. In the second game, well, it was just a lackluster performance made by the Kings, and Manu buries a 3.
Butter triple from Sammy Manu and a timeout for the Kings.
It's his second 3 today.
These guys seeing more minutes, Kenny Chen and Sam.
看见好吗？有谁对自己的投篮非常有信心的？我们一面丢一个好了。
想玩的朋友发出你的尖叫声。
这边有吗 ？Kevin， 你可以去丢这一面好了，帮我丢这一面，对。有吗？这边的朋友，谁投球比较厉害啊？我看一下，是这边比较好，还是这边的声音比较大？这边比较大一点点呢，怎么办？ 好的，这一侧的朋友们的声音让我听见好吗？好了，这边的朋友给你们2条吧，来。有时候这就像爱情一样来了，你没有把握住，他就离开了。没有了，球队来给他。
This broadcast is brought to you by AXN Asia as well as KC Global Media. You're watching the first game of the Group A series. We're coming out of the timeout. The Kings lead 27-20, has yet to make a dent in the second quarter.
Mars are getting outworked on the boards, 17-9 in favor of the Kings.
Jeremy Lin shaking off Manu here, passes to his younger brother. Sakakini under the basket, makes the basket.
Right place, right time basket for Sakakini.
Comes into the game with a perfect record over the Mars. All 4 games he played, all wins.
Good pull.
And Pong Pong gets the fadeaway too.
PK Pong Pong on the score sheet.
Sakakini gets the and one.
Too much man on that drive. Sonny Sakakini. He could complete the 3-point play. Take a look at this. Decided I'm going to take this all the way. Hong Kong met him with some body, not enough height.
36 years young, still at it.
If you find yourself in the Palestine area, you can visit Sonny Sakakini's pizza restaurant. Shout out to Big.
Very entrepreneurial. I mean, you got to do something after your basketball career.
He
So.
also has an Airbnb available in Palestine. Well, must be some seat sales going there now.
Now logs in 6 points, averages 17 points per game against the Mars, so he fares pretty well against the capital city.
Still got some years left, Sonny Sakakini, with those kind of numbers. Crown directing traffic here.
Kings now with the biggest lead, 10 points right now. Here's Miller. There's a switch off in defense. He drives downhill, step away, fade away. Ooh, skitters out of the rim.
Good defense from Washburn not to pick up the foul.
Trying to stop him from him going into the left. And the 2 bounces out. That ball flutters out. Here comes Kenny Chen.
Numbers.
A man unhinged, could not finish, out of bounds. Kings possession.
No call, playoff TPBL, play on.
It's a valiant attempt made by Kenny Chen. Saw him going coast to coast, but outnumbered by the Kings there.
Every time Washburn touches the ball, 4 red jerseys converge on his location.
You gotta have 4 people on him, especially if you're not 7 feet tall like he is. A familiar matchup, as I mentioned. Kenny Chen played for the Formosa Dreamers last season. This is the first time in a long time we're seeing the Kings not play against the Dreamers in the semifinals. Catch and shoot made by Coco, does not fall.
Oh,
Bodies hit the floor, yeah, a bunch of bowling pins. You can feel it on the floor here. Sakakini fumbles the ball out of bounds.
Referees are letting them play, and I like it.
Very physical. Sakakini still on the floor. Let's take a look.
I don't see a foul there, not in the playoffs anyways.
That looked pretty clean. If anything, he made some contact swiping Coco.
Tough to call that foul on that end when there's 2 bodies hitting the floor hard on this side, right before that.
Bullet pass out to Mormon. He comes back into the game. Mars have a lot of faith in Mormon, as Michael Eric, the other big on the team, he scored double digits in the play-in series.
Mormon hits the floor, you said it, they have a lot of faith in Mormon. Now I did see him have a 30-point game, but those games are few and far between.
Well, credit to where credit is due. Adrian Mormon has prior experience, plenty of experience out in EuroLeague.
EuroLeague All-Star, EuroLeague champ. Adrien Mormon. A little bit of French for you.
Did you just sneeze? I'm not familiar with the French language. I apologize, viewers. Here we go from the top 4-3. Oh, no good there. Not quite yet.
His first of typically 8 attempts a game he takes at 22%.
Yeah, he's very liberal with making those attempts. Joseph Land stopped in his tracks. Here comes a Sakakini out in the perimeter. There's a handoff once again. There's a dribble drive, finds an available Washburn. But again, 3-1. Here comes Sakakini. 3 seconds left. Pull up 2. Ooh, here's a wedgie.
If you had wedgie on your punch card, you have won. Please visit the local concourse and cash in your ticket.
That's a pretty deep in wedgie, too. It's not falling.
We had one game where there was 2 wedgies by the same player in the same half.
Oh, wow. That's impressive.
We had a Plinko get stuck on the other side of the stanchion.
Sakakini contesting that. There should have been a foul call. Let's take a look at what we're seeing. Yeah, he's getting a little physical down under the basket between him and Mormon.
Such an anticlimactic shot, the wedgie.
Yeah.
When it gets stuck in there, you're like, oh.
But pretty funny, pretty amusing.
When it happens in junior ball, you have to have a broomstick close to the net so someone can knock it out.
And just have Washburn just.
Yeah, here in professional basketball, you can hopefully someone can jump up there and knock it out for us.
Score still 32-22. The Mars only have scored 6 points in the second. Then under, too short. Body bumps in. No call made by the referees.
Call that a pass from Joseph Lin.
Yeah, that's a nice way of putting it. It's a curl in by McCallum. Skips it to Pong Pong.
Oh, tried to leave it for Mormon.
Right idea, couldn't get the pass.
I'd like to see Pong Pong go up strong there. Get fouled like he did before, back to the free throw line.
Foul call made.
Yeah, blocking foul, Sonny Sakakini, as they're wiping Kenny Chen's effort off the floor right now.
Ray McCallum and Pong Pong get a rest. First time in the quarter. Sakakini still contesting the foul call. With the referee on the baseline.
Malcolm Miller yet to score in this game to inbounds. Like to see him get going as well.
Yeah, we haven't really seen the import players hit their typical points per game average. If anything, the local players are really contributing in scoring as Lewis could not get the shot.
I like local players getting buckets. Bodes well for Taiwan's basketball future.
Lin, hook pass. Here's Sakakini for 3. Boom, baby, goes to dynamite.
So consistent when his feet are set. Automatic from that distance, Sakakini.
Has only been 2 games where he didn't make a 3. So every single game he makes at least 1 shot from the perimeter. And Ding draws a foul on what looks to be
a good foul if he drew it off Washburn. Got to get aggressive when you're attacking the team. Only have 9 players. You start putting players in foul trouble. You start scrambling for different looks and rotations.
Correction, it's a pushing foul called on Kyle, number 9. That's his second personal tonight.
Only Kyle and JJ with 2 fouls. No one in any foul trouble for the Kings. Ding Shunru.
Ding at the line, played overseas during his college years.
Played at a bunch of different schools in America. And I found out he has an English name. It's Eric, but I've been going with Ding because I like Ding.
Yeah, me too.
We already got an Eric. Sorry, Ding.
Yeah. Ding at the line only hits 67% of his shots.
But he nailed that one. Make that 67 point something percent now.
The full court press run by the Mars. So Lin at the elbow. But Kenny on him like white on rice. Here comes Sakakini. There's a reset, 5 seconds left. Here's a catch and shoot by Cayenne. That hits the iron ring.
Turnover by Mormon.
There's a steal turnover, and Washburn makes him pay. Nothing but net there. The Kings continue to lead. Malcolm trying to get in a quick 3.
I got Mormon with no points. I got Malcolm Miller with no points.
Same as we're seeing in the play-in series.
Someone's going to have to help out Kenny Chen and Sammy Manu. They're going to get a win here today.
That is a struggle that we see with the Mars. If Kenny and Manu don't contribute, the question is who will really step up. And as you said, Scott, the imports are a little bit more quiet. The last 4 games, import players have only averaged 32 points per game. That's below their typical average, sitting at 50.
24 points with 6:08 to go in the half. Yikes.
It's a double team. That does not connect. But Cayenne's three still does not fall. They get a foul, though, this time.
Lewis bumped him. Quite athletic, Lewis. Bumped him there trying to collect that rebound.
Yeah, hopefully we'll see the Mars. They got plenty of role players. Let's see if one of them could at least stand out in this game.
Everyone's getting opportunities for the Mars. Who's going to step up?
Ryan Marchand having to be conscious of the playing minutes for all 9 players. But Sakakini, I don't think we've seen him come out in the quarter. Here's Washburn recovering and finishes off, polishes a 2.
The broken play, come away with 2. Washburn's fired up.
Washburn is very heated. He's got his headband off. Getting the fans pumped up here at Shingzhong. This is the loudest that we hear them.
Oh boy. Get him a spit guard.
Yeah. We see the last play. Cayenne finds Allen through the legs.
A roly-poly bowling assist. You see him rip off his headband here, fired up.
Game 1 of the Group A series.
Kings being the Kings, 41-24. TC, come on, Mars, let's make this a game.
Yeah, come on, playoffs now. We had a really exciting game yesterday for the Group B series. The Kaohsiung Aquas, with a major upset in the 4th quarter, turned it around against the Formosa Dreamers.
Yeah, upset for sure. I watching the game towards the end, and it was Allen and Kevin Hulong Mao that came through in the clutch. I love it when the local players are the difference makers.
Absolutely, especially since we've seen the dynamics really change. The younger players were really more heavily used in the rotation. So Allen and Kevin, they've been veterans for the Aquas for 4 seasons now. So to see them stand out is refreshing. And well, again, we'll see a very interesting series between the 2nd and 3rd seed team. Now, what you mentioned earlier before, Scott, with the rebounds, the Kings have 9 versus Mars with only 3 in this quarter alone. As I mentioned before, Mars usually has especially the offensive boards over the Kings, but if you have Washburn as well as Sakakini in the paint, well, you might be into some trouble. Manu drive downhill for the 2.
Stopped on a dime, got the defender to fly by. Sammy Manu, front runner for Rookie of the Year.
Gets a quick 2 after the timeout. Less than 5.5 minutes to go. Head going up against Kenny Chen. Goes in on the right this time with a kick out. Wide open, uncontested shot, does not fall, and the referee quick at the baseline to call a foul on Ding Sunu. Ding ding.
Lucky Sonny Sakakini didn't punish him on that standstill 3. Ding, aggressive foul on JJ right in front of the referee. Easy call for the ref to make. Just Ding's first foul. That's going to see Mike Tsao in the game. Money Mike, welcome to the playoffs. Money Mike, I don't even think I wrote down any stats for Money Mike. He hasn't played in a while.
He has not played in a while. He did play a couple of minutes in the first play-in matchup, but that was, to be honest, because if it was a blowout.
I've seen him go for 24. You and I both have. Back in the Hero Bears days. Come on, Money Mike. Who's now got back to Mike Tsao. No more Money Mike, you're not playing.
Back-to-back foul calls with the Kings. Now at the free throw line. They're now on the bonus. Yeah, pretty early on to see Michael Tsao in the game.
You pulling up when the last time he played? I mean, I looked at his game lines and I didn't see anything significant really to dig into him.
Well, the last game he played was actually up against the New Taipei Kings back in April, but he only played 1 minute. Again, that was when the Mars won their 2nd matchup against the former Plus League champs. Joseph Lin blanks the 2nd free throw. Mormon slides off. Manu driving in. Ooh, a lot of effort. Going over Jason Washburn. Now he says it's a jump ball.
Tried to get the jump ball, but unfortunately the ball's on the other side of Jason Washburn's head. Gonna look awkward. Second attempt, and then he comes down on him.
He was quick to release the ball, luckily. So earlier you saw Washburn of, you know, his temper there, but Manu was quick to release.
Got some bounce in his jump. Sammy Manu gets off the floor very quickly.
Yep. He's got springs under his feet, if anything. Again, played for UC Davis, but he played as a position 4 player, so we actually didn't see a lot of minutes or stats. So his first year with the Taipei Taishin Mars really made an impact. Once again, Washburn.
Sammy Manu playing Division I basketball. You can see the development playing with those guys. Stands out here in Taiwan as a local.
Now Washburn contesting, but the ball was already given, but Mormon is moving here.
He's right. He is right. Mormon is moving. You got to stay on the blocks there throughout the player's shot.
Quite generous with Mormon. Washburn now with 11 points and 8 rebounds today so far. So we have a pretty good turnout here at Shingchong Gymnasium for game 1.
Imports are being the difference. 21 points for the imports for the Kings, and the Mars, oof, we got 5 points for Raymond Callum.
Got everyone, pretty much everybody on the Kings right now who they've all scored. Versus for the Taipei Taishin Mars, as we mentioned before, Mormon and I believe Miller has yet to score.
That's right, Mormon and Miller, goose eggs. You gotta pop them.
There's still plenty of game left, 4.5 minutes in the second quarter. Anything is possible. Here comes the countdown. Step back 3 for Sammy Manu. Hits the square out of the circle. Sets his feet, rejects it. Jeremy Lin coming off the bench. Here comes the lay-in and the and 1.
Jeremy Lin takes on the whole Mars defense there. Layup and 1.
Makes it look effortless too.
Hope side's got to come over here. Some token defense from Michael Tsao. He's got to step in front of that. Jeremy Lin to the free throw line to extend this lead to what might be 20. Feast or famine here in the TVPL. We got close games, and well, we got this right now.
Yeah, no, it's never in the middle. It's always on the other ends of the spectrum. The Kings also, they nearly hit a record playing against the CTVCDA, won by 45 points.
What is the record, DC?
45 points.
Almost like they tied the record, yes.
So technically speaking, the Mars and the Leopards, that was also a record for playoffs. Largest lead in playoffs.
There's something.
There's something. And Jeremy Lin makes the bucket, and Mormon draws a foul off of JJ. That's his 3rd personal already.
Question is, can the Mars stick around long enough for these imports to wake up? 20 points. Gonna have to trim this down going into halftime to something more manageable.
Before the free throw shot, Sushi comes in for JJ. Might be done for the rest of this particular quarter.
Yeah, JJ, 3 fouls, no points.
First one is good. So we talked about had his season high playing against the Kings, 30 points, made a, I believe he hit a double-double in that matchup.
Mormon's gonna need a 30-point game here. They're gonna get a win or a chance of coming back into this game.
Not a good sign that his first points are from free throws in the second quarter even.
Maybe that gets him some rhythm.
Mars now 5 for 7 at the free throw line. Back and forth between the Lin brothers.
Michael Tsao suffocating defense. Oh.
That's might be some good acting. Jeremy Lin recovers and swish goes in the 2.
Michael Tsao did his best to try to sell that foul. Referees didn't buy it.
He kind of has that reputation from seasons past, if you remember, Scott. He's at the helm. Shakes off Manigal, does not get the bucket around and out. Sushi gets aboard. Coast to coast pass. Ooh, a little risky business there. Baseline, a drive, and a offensive foul is called on Kenny Manigal.
He used his arm to leverage position as he went around. Take a look. Yeah, yep. Right there, right to his throat.
Coco got a little bit of contact earlier in the game too. He's getting a good beating. Luckily, no bruises, no broken bones yet. Michael Tao with a tough task to go up against Manigal. He loves to gamble at the half-court line.
Manigal's got such long arms, so active his hands.
Still trying to shake him off, out of bounds. Yeah, he didn't get the steal, but still put a lot of pressure on number 57. And Coach Robbie.
You see Mormon frustrated on the bench with his play so far, rightfully so. Uh-oh, foul on Joseph Lin.
Probably called it an unsportsman.
Came around that screen, got lost his offensive, hammered him. See the look.
I feel like I even heard it, too.
Oh. That's a playoff foul. Yep, foul. 2 shots. I don't think it's an intentional. I hope they're going to upgrade that or take a look.
I don't think they will. No one contesting, and Joseph gets...
That's one of those plays. Joseph Lin's a bit smaller than Coco, but if you had Sonny Zakakini coming over and doing that, I think we're taking a look at it.
Joseph Lin's first personal. Coco once again at the line. Now we saw Adrian Mormon at the bench. He looks frustrated. He's fired up, but head coach Robbie Schierhausen, stone cold, still cool, calm, collected, arms crossed. Not much of a reaction, as opposed to Ryan Marchand here, seeing him still animated, even with such a huge lead. Sakakini tries to nail in a 3, bounces way out. Spin around, woo, Koki. Sidestepping in, ooh, right idea, could not finish.
Here we go.
Here, cue the circus music. This is one way to get the possession. Sledgehammer made by Kenny Manigal.
Manigal oops the alley and the fans come alive.
It's a good way to recover those last couple of possessions.
Circus to showtime.
There we go. Here's Manu. Sets his feet, gets a 3. Immediately answers back. That's his 3rd one tonight.
Mars needed that 3. 18-point deficit now. 1:50 to go in the opening half.
Manu, the potential rookie of the year, leads the score for the Mars.
Go Taiwan.
Tough fake. Tries to find an outlet. Instead, it goes into the hands of McCallum. Back at the corner. Shoot when you're hot. He misses that time. Sakakini keeps it out the perimeter. Far out, downtown, shoot short. Michael Tao gets the board. Here's the coast-to-coast pass, and here's Sammy Manu.
Great outlet pass from Tao. Timeout Kings.
This is first stat for him. Manu now 12 points, 50% from the field tonight.
First Mars in double digits. Youngest player, Sammy Manu, 12 points.
Take a look at
alley-oop.
Manigal sledgehammer. That is gnarly stuff.
Able to get up so high, Manigal. One-hand throwdown.
That's Joseph Lin's 3rd assist. Lance, you can kind of hear Coach Ryan Marchand saying that the Kings still have the advantage in rebounds right now. They are 36 over the Mars' abysmal 15.
Yikes, the Mars are gonna have to get after it on defense if they want to get back to this game. They can't keep trading buckets. Stops, they're gonna need stops.
The only player getting really the most boards is Malcolm Miller. Again, he still has yet to break that goose egg, but he has made 4 rebounds today. Samuel Manu is really the player of the Marses right now. He is currently their one and only saving grace right now to this game.
Only player in double digits for the Mars, Sammy Manu. 3 rebounds, 12 points.
There's a 16-point deficit right now. And Lin tries to find Joe with a downhill drive. No good. There's a turnover. And free throws are given to the Taipei Taishin Mars.
Manu attacks Washburn on that drive, forces him to commit a foul. Washburn obviously is disagreeing with the foul. Sammy Manu, let's take a look at that replay. Washburn goes up, gets him on the side of the head and the arm, and can't believe that he fouled him.
You know, there's nothing that he could do but laugh about it, right, at this point.
Now that's only his first foul. He's gonna be okay.
First one, a miss. Sammy Manu at the free throw line. I don't know if I should say it.
His free throw stats?
Yeah.
If you say him, he doesn't hit him.
But it's my job. We gotta say it how it is. He's
if they're bad and you say them, he might hit it. But if it's good and you say them, they miss.
Well, they're at 56%.
Oh boy.
Not great, not good.
Well, that wasn't on you, that one.
Yeah, no. All right, less than a minute, 41 seconds left, and a referee on the sideline calls a foul quick.
Jeremy Lin getting peeled off the floor, bumped his head on the hardwood.
Foul on Coco.
Yep, that was a foul. Hard foul earned. Came over and just
charged right into. Oh, again at the
yep, in that
midriff area once again.
Midriff as well, yes.
Yeah, we saw in the first quarter McAllen kind of knocking him out of shape with his shoulder.
People say basketball is not a contact sport.
Who said that?
People say basketball, you know, well, these are the football players that are saying that likely.
Jeremy Lin was nominated 4 times for Player of the Month this season. That might be the most ever to be selected in one season alone.
Yeah, you said a good stat, he missed his free throw. That's how it works.
I know. Well, you know what? It is what it is. What can I do? 33 seconds left in the second quarter. Trying to swing it. He drives down instead. Draws a foul off of Lin.
It's only going to be Lin's first foul. Mars had a game plan at the start of the game. It's going to be attack Lin, get him in foul trouble, but that's only Lin's first foul. Only JJ in any sort of foul trouble with 3. I wouldn't call that foul trouble. In comes Lou.
Lou and Sakakini return.
Adding more years to the floor with their veteran experience.
Speaking of veteran experience, the BCL lineup, we saw the average of the New Taipei Kings' guard. I think I saw it was like 38, 39 years old.
That is veteran.
It's a lot of experience. Count at the line.
(51-35) with 23.3 to go in the opening half. Game 1 of the playoffs. Not as tight as I wanted it to be so far. Mars are going to have to retool, wake up Mormon, get some smelling salts for them at halftime.
Well, you know what? Sometimes it's like that. Playoffs, it can be as unpredictable as that. McAllen only scored 5 points in the first and 1 alone in the second quarter. The clock is winding down. No more shot clock, just 12 seconds left.
That's a real thing, smelling salts. I played for a team, coach had that in the locker room. Oh.
Slides hard, Jeremy Lin, across the baseline.
Gonna send him back to the free throw line. Jeremy Lin stays aggressive. 4 Mars converge on him. One of them fouled him. Jeremy Lin, his former New York Knicks, currently still alive in the playoffs. Watching the game the other day, people still wearing Jeremy Lin jerseys over there.
Like I said, Linsanity is still alive and well to this day.
What an impact he had internationally on sports. Put a spotlight on basketball that 1 year.
I mean, he's still relevant. He actually flew back while they were participating in East Asia Super League. He went back for the NBA All-Star Game. So had a huge round of applause for his homecoming back in San Francisco. 2 seconds left. And deep from downtown, he could not land his first 3 yet.
Half ends how it started. Mormon missing 3s.
Well, that's what you're seeing on the score. 52-35 for game.
球迷朋友还没有来到现场的话，等一下呢，好不好？再给你这个短短的30秒时间。如果30秒内呢没有看到你的人，我们就视同弃权，就只剩下这3位来挑战哦。好，那这边呢，我先来跟你们讲解一下规则哦，大家都有听到我的声音哈 ，OK？ 好，你们有看到？我们这个位置有分我们的1分、3分以及5分。那你们一个人有30秒的时间，30秒的时间。你们在30秒内可以任意到这个深色区就是3分，我们的罚球线这边就是1分。那我们呢3分线就是5分。那看你们自己想要得哪一分哦。30秒内累积分数最多的就是优胜者 ，OK 吗？那谁想要先来？谁想先？来，谁先？数字点到谁就是谁。好，那我们这位帅哥先来，2位自己先猜拳决定谁要先哦。来，你可以先站到你的位置就定位哦。好，3分的位置。好，那我们30秒准备，计时开始。OK。投出的第球3分球，非常可惜，再一次来到我们的3分线，一样想要尝试得到我们的5分线，来回到我们的罚球线，拿下了我们1分的分数，来到我们3分区域，非常可惜，差一点点，最后的10秒 ，Less 10 seconds， 来喽，准备3分球投出，非常可惜啊，最后5秒，4、3、2、1。好，非常可惜，大家也给我们这位球迷给他一点掌声吧。好，我们这位朋友可以先到我们的旁边稍作休息，稍等一下。来，第2位是，好，这位帅哥，来，首先一样站在5分的区域嘛。好，来准备哦，30秒的时间，把握机会，计时开始。3分线投出，非常可惜。来，没关系，我们要回到这个1分罚球线的区域，非常好。首先先获得了1分，再一次来到我们罚球区的区域，再一次像是一个投篮机器啊，得了2分，再一次同一个位置、同一个角度、同一样的手腕，非常的厉害。现在看手感来到我们3分线，最后的5秒钟 ，That's 5 seconds, 3, 2, 1。好球，总共呢获得了我们的6分。好的，那接下来下一位，来了，压力山大，你是我们之间的最后。
We're in the midst of our halftime break here with our Xinjiang New Taipei Kings' activity here. You take a look at the score. The New Taipei Kings have the lead over the Taipei Taishin Mars. Again, the Kings are coming in quite an advantage over the Taipei Taishin Mars. It's a David and Goliath storyline or even series. Despite having a very limited rotation, 9 to 14 on the active roster today. Kings outscore the Mars in every single quarter. Now again, we mentioned earlier in the game, they usually have the rebound advantage over the Kings, particularly with the offensive rebounds. As we have our Mandarin-speaking broadcasters on the screen, my name is Taylor Chen, Scotty D on a quick bathroom break right now. Let's take a look, points in the paint. Now earlier we saw in the graphics, the Taipei Taishin Mars outscore in the paint. But in this case, it's quite a different story, 26-12. As we'll be back with more TPBL basketball and the actual halftime stats here. Stay tuned for more TPBL.
Oh boy, no lead changes. Not a lot of fun things.
Let's go Kings!
Taking a look at our halftime stats very shortly with a 21-point lead. That's the largest lead that we have seen in this game so far. What we're seeing right now is the new Taipei Kings just having a more well-rounded set of players, imports and locals. As we take a look at the stats right now, they're making more shots and they're getting in more shots. They're 41% from the field, 33 only on the Mars' side. Three-point shooting, it's about the same, under 30%. Now, foul line, though, Scott, you mentioned that the Mars got to get more opportunities at the free throw line. But again, a huge difference. What we're seeing is 34 rebounds over the Mars' 15 overall in this game. As we take a look at the score ranking, Sam Manu, the only Mars player to hit double digits, 12, McCallum 6, Chen Kenny 5, Ding 4, Allen with 2, as opposed to the new Taipei Kings side, we got 3 players already in double digits. Jeremy Lin up top with 15, Jay Wash 11, Sunny Sakakini 10, Manigault with 9.
No surprises on the Kings side where the offense is coming from. Surprises on the Mars side, Sammy Manu leading all scores for them.
We'll be back after the following messages. Stay tuned for more TVBL playoffs. Game 1 of the Group A series. We are well into it here at Xinzhuang Gymnasium. The English broadcast is brought to you by AXN and KC Global Media. Taking a look at our stats right now on Sam Manu. First round, first pick draft for the Taipei Taishin Mars. He is 50% from the field, 2 for 4 today in terms of perimeter shooting. Now, he typically struggles out here, but again, as I mentioned before, he's right now, they're really only hope in this game, talking about how the imports really need to step up. Again, they've been really quiet in the last 4 matchups in the regular season campaign as well as playoffs, as we still have Jeremy Lin in the lineup. He did not travel for a Basketball Champions League, as he could maybe, we might see double-double stats from him today. He's got 15 points and 6 assists already in this game.
Mars coach, man, it's got to be gut check time for the Mars. Kings showing us why they're the top seed here in the first ever playoffs.
Again, a tall task to fulfill. We looked at a poll on TPBL's Instagram. Make sure to follow tpbl.basketball or .Taiwan. I don't remember which one is which, but the poll, according to the fans out there, they voted 96% saying that the Kings will take it. Only 4% have faith in the Mars, but they've been underdogs 2 seasons in a row. They had to play up against CGBCDA last season. They had Al-Bashir on that team. It was incredible stuff. They had to go force themselves into game 5.
Yeah, the DEA want to put out a letter to Al-Bashir. We miss you very much.
Now, he just played his first ever season in the B League, Happy Nets. But he's now, as of right now, today, his agency announced that he is now a free agent. So he might be doing some shopping during the off season.
We'd love to have him back here in the TPBL. Follow us on Instagram, tpbl.tw.
Yeah, there you go. We kick off the second half. There's a little bit of a game delay. Jason Washburn again, always having something to say, tapping on his imaginary watch. Here's a double team kick out for the perimeter. And Washburn going one-on-one. This time could not get the bucket. Now the imports, their numbers are, there's a huge difference between the Kings. Kings scored 30. The Mars import players only scored 8 points in the first half. Mormon only getting 2 from free throw opportunities.
Going to work here.
Yeah, Sakakini really doing a good job guarding him. What a buzzer beater shot. That's one way to start the third.
Okay, Mormon.
Really saw his patience and paid off there.
That last shot, just something, everything's happening in slow motion for Mormon. Somehow gets it to go off 1 foot. Jeremy Lin.
Joseph with a long 2. That ricochets off of the iron ring.
Joseph Lin. Well done, TT.
Uncontested, but he finds Manu. There we go. There's a foul off of Jeremy.
Sammy Manu still the only Mars player in double digits. Where's the offense going to come from? Is it going to be Mormon, Malcolm Miller, Hong Kong? Someone's got to get going.
Yeah, even the likes of Kenny Chen, he's on the court. He scored less than 10 points. 3 seconds left to go. Countdown begins, and ooh, too much mustard there. Look away pass. And there's a Washburn. Ooh, that rattles in. Caught Mormon off guard even. Pong Pong. Ooh, that finish. Too short though. Mars having a tough time scoring. Sakakini recovers.
Mormon gets flattened by Washburn. No call. Sakakini 2 points. I felt that on the floor.
Yeah, absolutely. We are sitting where the Mars players are. You can really feel that on the floor. Here's a pull-up 2. There's nothing but net for Ray McCallum.
RJ, let's get going, Mars. 55-39. Mars in red.
It's a slow start for game 1 of the Group A series. It's a double team. He finds Joseph Lin. Finds the outlet in Kyle. 2 seconds left to go. Drives in from the baseline. Boom! Goes the dynamite 2.
Good take from Kyle. Aggressive in the baseline.
And Ray McCallum goes up against Cayenne.
You get aggressive, I get aggressive, says RJ.
Ooh, Ooh, he thought about it, making the long shot. Instead, finds Joseph Lin.
Referee's gonna blow a foul on 33, Sammy Manu.
Tries to intercept the pass, out of bounds. Still Kings possession with 12 seconds.
Did they blow a foul there or just out of bounds?
Out of bounds.
Just out of bounds.
Now, McCallum wants a review now.
Seems pretty
Coach
confident about
obliges.
it. The more veteran the player, the more the coach has confidence in actually using that challenge. McCallum seemed pretty confident drawing that rectangle for our first review, I believe, of this game.
Yeah.
Usually there's quite a few. First one now.
The earliest challenge I've ever called was DA against the Aquas. Not even 2 minutes in. Nas Brooks calls for a challenge.
One game with no challenges. That might have been a first.
That's pretty hard to come by, yeah. Now
I think we average about 1 a quarter from what I've 1 a quarter.
Let's take a look at a closer view.
Hit him in the chest, bounced out of bounds. Ray McCallum might have made the right call. I'm going to side with Ray McCallum on this one. Hits him in the chest, changed directions. Oof.
Yeah, it still makes
the better angle was the other
contact.
angle. See what the referee decides. Referee agrees with Ray McCallum, correct? Yes.
It's still Mars' possession. McCallum at the baseline.
They ruled it King's possession. They got so Mars challenged that, and they keep their challenge successful.
58-41 is the score. First ever seeing these two teams match up in playoffs. Jeremy Lin goes high for the board. Scoops it, returns a favor. Kyle trying to find the catalyst. Taking his time, 9 seconds. Now it's Washburn, there's a spin and a kick out. Woo, pump fake, sidesteps 2 players.
What's the call? They call it travel? Sammy
A
out, 3 in the key.
3-second.
Didn't think it was a travel, yep.
No travel call. It's 3-second violation in the paint. Overstayed their welcome. That's 4 turnovers for Sonny Sakakini.
Tough call. Washburn is expecting him to shoot the first one, then he took so many fakes.
Kenny Chen shakes off Joseph Lin, cashes in the 3, but Jeremy Lin comes in quick. A man unhinged, but here's the secondary. Here's Mormon guarding up against Sakakini. He kicks it out. Here comes Joseph Lin. Shot hits the iron ring. There's Sakakini's second. No good. Again, the Kings got their rebounds in the 30s. Sakakini finally.
You're going to get 3
Getting a break.
offensive rebounds on a possession. You're going to end up on the free throw line or with 2 points.
Better late than never, I suppose. Sakakini at the free throw line first time in this quarter. Adrian Mormon now has got 3 personal.
Well, Mormon's got to be low on rebounds. How many rebounds does Mormon have? They're getting dominated on the boards here today.
Well, none of the Mars players have double digits in rebounds today. As of right,
Callum's doing what he can. 10 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists.
Sakakini makes his first. We talk about his 18 years playing professionally. He is the only import player amongst this league to play in all of the leagues in Taiwan. We're talking about the semi-pro, plus league, T1, and now TPBL. He misses the second free throw shot.
We're into the second half, and Mormon has 2 rebounds. Typically gets 13 a game.
Got Sakakini and Washburn for the imports, and Joseph Lin gets a steal. A man unhinged, he gets the bucket. No call made by the referees. It's clean, they said. Kenny Chen driving in, puts the basket in, up against Jason Washburn even.
I thought Kenny Chen was going to throw that one down.
Hong Kong up against Washburn. He is too small for 42.
You said it, outmatched.
Hong Pong is tasked to guard up against the bigs, even with Mormon on the court.
Hong Kong's got some good horizontal game, vertical game, lacking.
See the skip and the hop to Washburn.
Kings are moving the ball around. Everyone's touching the ball on offense. I like what I'm seeing from the Kings. 9 players playing well.
Yeah, currently, that's Joseph's 3rd assist. McAllen, step back 3, it does not fall.
Extra possession.
And they get a second chance opportunity. Manigault goes way past Mormon. A perimeter shot for Kenny Chen goes in again.
X Factor Kenny Chen. 2 in a row from downtown.
We're seeing Sam Manu come out swinging in the first half. Let's see if Kenny Chen can do that for the Mars. Kenny Manigault's 3 does not fall, but into the hands of McAllen it goes.
Momentum shift in Mars.
At the corner, here's a catch and shoot from Manu, bam!
And the small contingent of Mars fans to our left come alive.
Yeah, there you go, 15 points for the rookie. He's 3 for 5 out the perimeter. That might be tying up his best shooting range from the perimeter. He pulls up JJ for 2, ricochets, recovers himself. Ooh.
Mars have a chance to cut this to single digits.
Plenty of game left. There's a kick out. Kenny Chen, he pulls up. And Mormon answers the call. Yes, sir, he certainly does.
Wow.
Merci beaucoup, he says.
Merci beaucoup, and the Mars, just like that, they've made it a ball game.
They had a scoring run there. Score now 63-55. Mars slowly inching their way in this 3rd quarter.
把你们的双手举起来，让我看见好吗？这一支可以吞到3楼哦，我尽力，好不好？来哦，来2楼，我努力了。来这一侧，来这一侧朋友。好的，哇！要再一个吗？好，帮我补充一下我的弹药，感谢你。
What a scoring run the Taipei Taishin Mars have in the 3rd quarter. They're on a 20-11 blitz against the new Taipei Kings.
If you're just joining us now, the Mars were down by 21. They now have an 8-point ball game, well within reach. 5 minutes and 28 to go in the 3rd quarter.
Kenny Chen tying up his shots from the perimeter. He's 3 for 3, 100% today so far.
100%. And he passed up on that last shot.
Let's see what Ryan Marchand has for them. ATO. They're taking their time. Shot clock is winding down. 9 seconds left. Takakini draws a slow foul call.
Bit of a delay on that foul call. Referee bailed him out.
4th personal made by Mormon.
4th on Mormon, that's right. 4 fouls to go along with 7 points.
Takakini 2 for 3 so far at the line.
First Palestinian to play in the CBA, breaking down barriers. They called him the Iron Man. I've heard this story. They called him the Iron Man. He played in that FIBA under-18, and he played the entire tournament. He didn't come off the floor. He got the nickname Iron Man. They also call him the Beast.
I mean, look, he's 36 years old, and I looked at his minutes played. He still gets 35 minutes average.
Iron Man.
So again, you know, while the Mars, they really hold on dearly for the advantage where they have 9 people on the roster. Sakakini, he's used to these minutes played on the court. I mean, again, we barely saw him get 3 minutes of rest in the 2nd quarter. Well, he puts in the work. McCallum at top. He's directing traffic right now. Catch and shoot for Coco. Boom goes the dynamite again. The threes are raining for the Taipei Taishin Mars in this quarter alone. They're 5 for 6.
Missing offense from the first half found here in the second half.
Kings are 0 for 3 on the perimeter. JJ from the baseline. Here comes Sakakini with the downhill drive.
More good ball movement from the Kings.
Malcolm Miller at the top. And they call travel on number 13. Oh, that's gotta hurt.
Off the bench, costly turnovers, got no points. Malcolm Miller, now's your time. Who wants it?
That timeout. You're seeing it kind of affected the Mars' pace of the game. Joseph Libby comes out.
Typically able to provide a spark off the bench, Miller.
Hand off to JJ. Kenny, like white on rice up against Jeremy Lin. There we go, that draws a foul. It's to be a hand check.
Plays defense so aggressively and so close. He's got to show the referee his hands. He's always bodying him. The one-man double team, Kenny Chen. Double team doesn't need to come when Kenny Chen's going one-on-one with somebody. Like having an extra defender out there.
4 minutes left in the third quarter. We're starting up again from the sideline. 14 seconds on the shot clock. Looks like Ding is getting ready to return to the court. Jeremy Lin, let's see if he'll make a shot from downtown, from the top, and it goes in his bag like DoorDash. Ooh, 18 points for Jeremy Lin. There's a skip to Kenny Chen. He charges in for two, too strong. Jeremy patting his stats, trying to get the board.
Kenny Chen staying aggressive back the other way.
Let's take a look at that again. Off foot.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
From deep.
He can't stop and he won't stop. Well, the Mars at least making it still a game. Still got a 12-point deficit, but Jeremy Lin, he's distancing himself farther in, finish on the inside.
Kings have a little run of their own now to match Mars run, timeout.
Coach Robbie calls for a quick timeout after that field goal made by Jeremy Lin. Truly a MVP candidate for the season. That timeout really iced out the Taipei Taishin Mars. So now Coach Robbie, it's now his turn to call the timeout.
Momentum shifts in favor of the Kings currently. Fans that have showed up today on Dragon Boat Festival being treated to now a basketball game, 72-58, 14-point lead for the home team Kings.
That really goes to show that the experience that the Kings have really reigned over the Taipei Taishin Mars.
Jeremy Lin settles the guys down. Whenever Jeremy Lin's on the floor, they're always in good hands.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Jeremy Lin's, his presence affects the game, and you know, it doesn't even matter if he can score that many points, he still contributes in other ways. As of right now, with 20 points now, he's got 8 rebounds and 4 assists. So we take a look at our new Taipei Kings' fans at Xinzhuang Gymnasium on a Friday night at that. Currently, we are in halftime for the BCL games. The Tauren Puren Pilots have a 10-point lead, 44-34 against the new Taipei Kings. Winner advances to the finals.
The Kings are winning and losing on the same day.
Yeah, never seen that before.
I have never seen that before.
Yeah, it's the first for all of us. But we thank you so much for tuning in to TBBL on AXN Asia. Coco finds Mormon down to Miller. Oh, he tries to fight the two. He's really got shut down today as Jeremy draws another foul.
Jeremy Lin aggressively driving to the hoop, getting fouled. 2 weeks off, doesn't matter. These Kings looking sharp.
I think
Everyone's
Vacation.
got fresh haircuts.
Yeah.
Everyone's looking good.
Vacation does good on the veteran team, I guess.
Good to talk about complacency. I saw Manigo getting pictures on IG with his wife traveling around Taiwan. You know, other guys are battling in the play-in game. Doesn't matter. The Kings showing us why they're #1 here.
Absolutely. We see Mars have a challenge within their hands. Norman's got his 5th personal, 6th, and he is out of the game.
Mormon's got his, he's got his 5th foul, 7 points, almost got equal points to fouls.
Referee getting our league staff to wipe the floor. Now Coach Robbie Schuhalten gets a technical.
Mormon capped off that Mars run, which I think brought it to 8 points at one point. Did we get down to 5? I think it was 8 points at one point. Sitting at 14, lots of basketball left to be played. See if the Mars can get it down to 10 points with a quarter to go.
Taipei Taishin Mars still having foul trouble in the 3rd quarter. New Taipei Kings very restrained. They only have 1 team foul. With 3 minutes to go, Jeremy Lin is at the line.
Back-to-back Sports Illustrated cover model Jeremy Lin with a fresh haircut.
Yeah, before it was actually Joseph Lin rocking different hairstyles. He had the undercut, he had the man bun. What else? He had the braids.
Mask. I liked the mask. You got bumped in the nose.
That was out of safety, though.
Safety, I know.
Yeah.
But when he went from clear to black, I liked it.
1 for 2 at that possession.
Uh-oh.
Ooh, bad ball handling there. Sakakini with a look away pass and a scoop made by Jeremy Lin. None other than Lin Sanity here.
That's right. Lin Sanity continues 2025 here in Taiwan.
Coast-to-coast pass to Adrian Mormon. He manages to get the 2 off of their fast break.
Tempo picking up.
Lin trying to put Manu on skates. Falls out the perimeter. Here's Kyle with a rugby pass. There's a kick out to JJ. Here comes JJ for it. 3. So nice, you say it twice.
And now the entire Kings roster have scored.
Everyone's got numbers. Here comes Mormon. That goes around and out. Look away, bullet pass out to Cayenne. Uncontested, bam! Oh my goodness.
Just like that, the run was erased. The lead is back up to 18.
We need a heat check for the new Taipei Kings.
Back up to 21. Woo.
Yeah, they heard us talking. They didn't like it.
A moment ago, it was an 8-point game.
Absolutely, yeah, but just as we talk about when they're trailing behind or when they're not assigned, you got Jeremy Lin coming out of timeout, really adjusting his team. And you know, it's not just Jeremy Lin. You got so many experienced players on that team that can correct themselves really quick. Versus Taipei Taishin Mars, on the other hand, no X factor, very inconsistent all 3 quarters.
Mars coach better be looking down the stat sheet and going, Kenny Chan, you're 3 for 3 from deep. We're going to need you to pull a couple more. A lot of Lin signs, loving it. Lin Sanity continues.
Now we got the yellow shirts for a giveaway today, so we got a good amount of fans wearing them today. Hey, it's free, you might as well wear them.
That's right, we're trying to have a yellow out here. If anyone can get involved, we got the Mars red over here.
Yeah.
The tiny little speckle of red over here in our corner.
Now, typically the Taipei Taishin Mars, their fan base really travels well, and you can always see where they are because they all are wearing bright red T-shirts.
They show up early.
Yeah, we love the devotion. We love and appreciate the fans coming in on this Friday night.
The Mars fans, you never see one. They travel in packs.
Just when the Mars made it exciting, the first half of the 3rd, the Kings always come back saying, no, no, no.
Mars subbed in Barry. 3-point guy, Barry, see if he can bury one.
Yeah. First time returning since the 1st quarter. Dane trying to come in for the 2. Here's Malcolm Millie. He draws a foul off of Sakakini.
Holding his wrist, got fouled hard. Going to have an attempt at the free throw line for his first points of today's ball game.
I want to take a look at that replay.
Got slapped down pretty hard. It looks like it when he came down right there.
But you know what? If we look at physics, his arms went up and the ball went downward. So it could look clean, but listen, the referees call a foul.
Yeah, referee's discretion.
Absolutely.
There we go. On the score sheet, Malcolm Miller, NBA champ, 2019 Toronto Raptor with 1 point.
We see on the screen that Nelson sitting between Pong Pong and Michael Tao. Again, he helped his team in the CBA win their championship. Comes in to support his team. Again, he could have been the X factor. He was a player that almost is like Al-Bashir for the DEA. But with his absence, the Mars really had to do a lot to sign free agents. Manigault with a tough shot.
Big move, Manigault, top finish as you mentioned. Wow.
Miller to dink. Here's the alley-oop. Instead, that's a pop out to Jeremy.
Manigault's long reach, able to break up that alley-oop attempt.
Yeah, talking about that wingspan earlier.
Watch his arms, they go down to his knees.
There's a drive down to Sakakini. Manigault gets a dime.
What a roller coaster ride we've had so far in the third quarter.
I know. You know what? It was interesting. Hey, there's still 12 whole minutes left. Barry's shot does not fall into the circle. Manigault to JJ, caught them off guard.
JJ caught that ball so open he didn't know what to do with it.
Yeah, he really got caught off guard.
He was stunned.
Caught the Mars off guard, caught JJ off guard, but listen, he got the bucket. 16 seconds left, McCallan at the helm.
As far as timeouts go, when the Kings iced the Mars run with that timeout call, that might have been the play of the game.
That really was a game changer. 6 seconds, he draws a foul.
Ray McCallum to the free throw line to stop the bleeding. Oh boy, 87 to 61 with 6.3 seconds to go. Take us through this, TC.
Well, Cayenne got a stank face on. They call it personal on number 9. Even the Kings fans are unhappy.
We call that the durian face for our Malaysian fans. That's the who brought a durian on the bus face.
Oh my gosh, I smelled a durian on the on our metro. Oh, that was gnarly.
Yeah, looks, that's what your face looks like.
Terrible.
Who brought a durian on this bus?
It's very fitting. 6 seconds on the clock. Here's a catch and shoot by Barry. Woo! Congratulations. He breaks his goose egg.
Welcome to the score sheet, Barry. Long heave. That's the end of the third.
Good quarterback throw out to their basket. Score 87-64. Who'd have thought a timeout would be a game changer for a playoffs game?
Play the game. Timeout, coach.
We'll be right back with the TPBL playoffs. Stay tuned for more.
好，我们一起看到上方的大幕，有捕捉到你的朋友可以跟我们的视线一起摆出一样的姿势。跟大幕挥挥手好吗 ？Hello， 欢迎来到我们的新庄城堡 ，Welcome to the 新庄 Castle。Hello， 如果想跳舞的朋友。 捕捉到你的时候，可以起来一下。
要跳舞是不是？要跳舞是不是？
来来来，站起来就是要跳。
哎，不好意思，下面一位。
下面一位。
啊，但是没关系啊。
对，
刚好来帮我们加油。
没错，他们现在能来帮我们加油。
最近在休赛季。
对对对，有空，很多时间了。
我们导播可是1楼、2楼、3楼都抓得到哦。
没错。好了，我们的小公主一起看向我们大幕，一起摇摆你的身体。好了，欢迎来到我们的新庄城堡。
我们镜头挥挥手。
Hello， 腼腆笑。Hello。好，这两位成为我们的季后赛球衣的，跟我们的大荧幕打个招呼，挥挥手吧。凯燕来扛，永不破防。JJ 出手，微笑开火。
这应该自己写，不是 AI 写的吧？
没错，应该不是 AI 啊。
自己写。
书豪加油，感谢支持我们的书豪。
Rise, reign, and repeat. The new Taipei Kings hoping to get back-to-back championship titles here at Xinzhuang Gymnasium. That third quarter was something else, Scott.
Roller coaster ride. Now we're back to what it was at halftime.
Yeah, we had a third quarter blitz 2011 before a called timeout. Coach Ryan Marchand really smart about icing the Mars' player. Sakakini tries to put down the hammer.
Got rejected by the front rim. Sakakini tried to pull the rim off there on that dunk. Let's take a look. I thought Manigault was going to throw it down. Gave it up to Sakakini and bonk! Right on the front rim.
You know, Manigault wants everybody to have their spotlight. As
Miller can't believe he committed a foul there. Almost got crowned. Rim helping the Mars out on defense there. One block for the rim. Bit of a debate over if it was a shooting foul. It's two-shot shooting foul for sure.
Right.
He was going to the hoop. Sonny Sakakini on the free throw line to extend this lead to a mathematical minus I can't feel in my head right now.
well, while you think about it, we go back to a year ago on May 30th. We were in the midst of the T1 finals. That was game 3 between the Taoren Leopards up against the Taipei Taishin Mars. Now for the Plus League side, Kings and the Dreamers were in the midst of their semifinals. That was game 4. Kenny Manigault and Austin Day were still around to go up against the Formosa Dreamers.
The Mars has now set the stage for the biggest comeback in TPBL playoff history. Stick around.
Look, you do it once, you could do it again.
Stick around.
Pump fake, here's a shot from the top. Barry got his first 3 in the third, towards the end too. Manigault to Lou buckets! He gets his first 3.
When it rains, it pours here in New Taipei City, Xinzhuang. The Kings are dominating.
And he stacks up his stats. He gets a board and passes it off to Lin. Look away pass, Sakakini at the corner. Couldn't get the 3 there. And pass to Miller.
Okay.
He's in his bag, there we go.
Okay, Miller for 3, 92-67.
Mars, 11 for 25 from the perimeter. Kings, a little bit less, 7 for 20 today.
The percentages aren't that bad. More attempts and more rebounds for the Kings. Much more rebounds for the Kings. The offensive rebounds that are hurting the Mars the most.
There's a step back 3, and he drains it. Here comes a Manigault.
Manigault in on the shot party now.
That ball gets batted out by Manigault.
Everybody hitting their shots here on Dragon Boat Festival. If you're not outside watching the races, you're in here with us.
Yeah, not only do we have the Dragon Boat Festival, this is the last day of the World Masters Games.
That's right. Our other commentator, Joe Obi, was competing in the Masters Games as a basketball player.
Miller's call comes unanswered. Here's a Manigault. Swings it back out to the perimeter. Here's Joe Lin. Sidestepping away from Ding.
Miller looks to push.
Miller! Oh, that slam does not jam. Barry trying to get the board. Ends up a Kings foul.
He could not jam that slam. Yikes. Saw him put that down fingertip dunk in the third game of that play-in series. Likes to go hard in front of the rim. Might have lost an inch or 2 with his age now. He used to throw down on people like that all the time.
We love the effort. It's always fun to see. We actually saw a couple of dunks that were booked today, but
we do love the effort to try to throw it down. Ding.
Ding with a jumper over Lou.
Mars fans pretty quiet to our left now. A lot of phones being taken out.
I mean, look, this is like Groundhog Day for them.
A lot of Huas OG.
Drive downhill. There's a kick out from the corner. Shakes off Barry. Long to does not go into the circle.
Those rebounds killing him.
Too easy for Jay Wash again. You got the 7-foot tall close enough to the basket. He's more likely to make the 2. Manu quiet in the second half. Finds an outlet in Allen. He goes in for 3. Nails it.
Number 41 from the baseline. Welcome to the score sheet.
They're now 11 for 26. Now their league high, or their season high, is actually 15, so they're not too far off right now. And here comes Lou. No bucket there, though.
Offensive rebounds is the reason why they're getting blown out right now.
Here's another 3 by Manigal. He needs a heat check.
Second chance opportunities killing the Mars.
Scored 6 points in this quarter. Manu gets the and 1.
Good take for Manu. Finishes with the left hand. Goes hard.
Yeah, Manu could go left, go right. Again, really seeing his versatility.
Attacks the rim. It's got some hops. And consider a local guy. One of those cheat codes.
He's a mixed kid. He's Taiwanese. His father is Rex Manu, previously played for the CBA, as well as playing professionally in Taiwan.
Family affair, the Manu family.
Yeah, absolutely.
As you see brothers, Jeremy and Joseph Lin, been dominating here in Taiwan, playing together all season.
Lou swinging out to Joe, on the perimeter. There's a switch off, and here is Jay Wash, uncontested. Woof, out of bounds, it hits.
Uncontested, unconventional shot. I feel like he lets it go on the way up, Washburn, when he shoots that 3.
It's an interesting method.
I think he makes about 1 out of 6.
Allen, look away pass. Ooh, Barry's driving in, up and under. Outnumbered by the Kings. Ooh, putting Allen on the skates, and a putback in is made by Jay Wash.
Good follow from Washburn. Manu back the other way, fouled.
Draws a foul off of Manigault. Take a look at the last. Rattles out, Wash.
That's where that 7 feet comes in so handy. You know, Ding would be so good at basketball if he was 7 feet tall.
Right.
Would you agree with that?
Oh, absolutely.
My goodness.
Absolutely.
Ding Shunru, these local guys, some of them 5'9", 5'11". You put these guys 6'7", 6'8". We're talking real deal basketball players. Unfortunately, the net is 10 feet high.
And Manu now logs in 20 points. Yeah, we have an abundance of guards in Taiwanese professional basketball, but, you know, it's so hard to come by with a big Taiwanese player. I mean, Lou for 3, no good. A scoop, back-to-back scoops, and a ding as a 3 falls into the hands of Sushi.
Sushi on the floor.
Got his name because Coach Ryan Marchand had the hardest time pronouncing his Chinese name for good reasons.
I just like saying sushi on the floor.
It is fun to say, too. Here's an alley-oop attempt, and he's going fancy with it.
Showtime pass from Washburn, but Manigault wasn't watching the TV.
Ryan Marchand not amused by that.
I think you're okay doing the Showtime pass there, but that was way off. Way off.
You got to be within the ballpark. That was at the parking lot.
And you saw the assist of the year. It was an around-the-back pass from the Kings. It was a real nice around-the-pack from one of the local guys. Did you see the assist of the year for the Kings?
I did not see that.
From under the hoop, around the back, right into the shooter's pocket on the three-point line.
Still got a lot of categories to be announced. Yesterday, they announced that Leo of the Kaohsiung Aquas was selected as most improved player of this season.
Didn't get to call many of his games. Leo from the Aquas, did you get to call some of his games?
I'm sorry?
Did you call some of his games?
I did.
Would you agree with that? Most improved player?
Absolutely. Leo is well-deserved. 24, jersey number 24. He's now in the starting lineup when before Brandon Joyce really put him in for just a couple of minutes. He always gets himself into foul trouble.
What was his biggest improvement? Points, assists? I guess
Everything.
he's picking up for Brickman.
I can't say which one the most, but everything has improved.
Hats off to Leo, most improved player. The future Taiwan professional basketball looks bright with these guys like Sammy, Manu, and these the core local players. Miles had 26 points in a quarter. Unbelievable. The fact that that record is held by a Taiwanese person to begin with.
Absolutely.
Brings a tear to my eye.
Hopefully it brings a positive change for the national Chinese Taipei team. They will be playing in the FIBA qualifiers in August. Jay Wash up against Miller. He got to fight hard for that board.
Miller's pushing again.
And another foul call on Manigault.
Likes to get out and run, Miller. People got to try to jump with him when he gets to the rim.
Got ourselves a TV timeout. No timeouts called. And the Kings now with a 25-point lead.
Young boss, young boss. We did it. Started from the bottom, now we both found it faded. Young boss, young boss. We did it. Women's on swag out, shining through the bedding. Young boss, young boss. We did it. Started from the bottom, now we both found it faded. Young boss, young boss. We did it. Women's on swag out, shining through the bedding. Young boss, young boss.
现场的球迷朋友们，掌声给我们的新北国王啦队 New Taipei Queens。没错，现在大家都非常的好，有一个好习惯，听到节奏就是拿起你的拍子。
New Taipei Kings with a one-possession lead in the fourth quarter, 15-13.
We did see the game down at an 8-point lead for the Kings. Now the Mars have not led in this entire ball game. We've got the #1 seed New Taipei Kings playing against the #4 Mars in the first round of the playoffs, and the Kings are showing us why they are the #1 seed. True #1 seed, only dressed 9 guys for today's game, and they're mopping the floor with the Kings currently. Sorry, with the Mars.
The Taipei Taishin Mars, they have individual standouts and they do have moving highlights such as Samuel Manu today, but otherwise it's just it's not enough up against the New Taipei Kings. Again, they're only lacking, they only have 9 players in the rotation, but all 9 players have experience in the playoffs, regular season. They do have the best record to date in their 4 seasons of existence. Manu for the buzzer beater, too strong there.
Mars have gone back to Michael Tsao. Good to see him getting some burn. And by burn, I mean playing time.
Now we did see him earlier in the first half. Joseph Lin shakes him off.
Another offensive rebound.
See if he tries it again. 9 seconds on the shot clock. There's a crossover. And off to Sushi. Skipping it to Joe Lin, but Allen gets a steal. Scoop to Manu. Puts Liu on skates. Gets a foul.
Sammy Manu to the free throw line. 4:47 to go. I think the Mars are going to have to start looking towards game 2 and the adjustments that they can make.
Now, Sam Manu is a Taiwanese full on as opposed to Joseph Lin and Jeremy. They're considered more so Chinese heritage players, so they don't have the proper citizenship.
Now, what does that mean? Can they vote? I mean, what do we got going there? To put you on the spot politically.
So that means they don't have a residency registration in Taiwan. That's how you're considered.
So the Lin brothers can't play on the Chinese Taipei team.
Yeah, no.
And Sammy Manu can.
Sammy Manu is on the national team, yes, correct. Unless you apply for a passport before 16, you have to serve military or there have to be exceptions made for you. But Sam Manu, he is Taiwanese, full and full. There's a shot from Manigault. And a coast-to-coast pass to Malcolm Milley, and he draws a foul off of Manigault. That's going to be, I believe, Manigault's 4th personal.
9 players. They didn't end up in any sort of foul trouble. You're right, it's Manago's 5th foul now. The only player, him and Mormon have 5 fouls. Don't think we're gonna see too much more Mormon today.
No, he looks to be done.
He looks, his body language on the bench right now, I don't know where his head is, but
Not here.
not here.
Not here at Xinjiang Gymnasium.
2 weeks off didn't matter for the Kings. And they're gonna be back in here on Sunday, game 2. Mars gonna have to retool, make some adjustments.
Yeah, Mars have it tough now. I mean, you know, regular season, towards the end, they had the luxury of having a lot of bye weeks, but now the tides have turned and the scales have tipped, as now they have quick turnarounds, having to play in the play-ins and having to go up against the Kings. Here's a catch and shoot by Manigault. That is nothing but net beauty there.
Not?
Shingan Manigao, as he likes to say it.
I love the way the in-game announcer guy says, Manago!
Yeah, absolutely.
Kenny, here we go, Kenny Manago!
The MC Ryder with the microphone. Still
Like he says it so loud, I'll go home and I'll be hearing it in my head, the way that he says Kenny Manago.
I still have the Leopards' Bow 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 song in my head. That's in my dreams.
Man, some of these songs, yeah, I guess that's what you want, catchy songs. Baby Shark was a big hit, but
Oh.
come on.
Don't. We're not going to talk about that song. Here's Washburn. 4-1 again. You need 4 men on him. Allen gets a foul call.
Now, do you know what the roster is going to be like on Sunday? Are there going to be the BCL guys gone for the weekend? Is it going to be 9 men again on Sunday?
I believe they should return by then, but I think they'll still have a very limited active roster by Sunday.
Well, they're getting the job done with 9 players dressed. Mars came with a full roster. I'd like to see Michael Eric maybe get a look. We've seen the Mormon and Miller look. I'd like to see the Michael Eric Miller look. What do you think, TC?
Yeah, I mean that's kind of why I think they don't have them play a lot. They've only played 6 games together. I don't think that's a very effective rotation. So you're right. Hopefully we'll see the likes of Michael Eric. He definitely contributed.
Michael Eric even here today? I didn't see him here today.
No, actually.
I usually chat with him.
No, he isn't here at Xinjiang Gymnasium. There's a lay-in made by Malcolm on the left.
This might be the import guys they're going with. Only import guys in attendance for the Mars.
Oh, we don't see, I didn't see him on the injury roster.
Maybe he's in the locker room, he's just had enough.
Here's a long 2. Clock is winding down. It's a little quiet here now at Xinjiang Gymnasium.
Might be time to get some of the bench players in for the Mars.
Well, we certainly do. We have a number 6 on the court
Oh,
right
we do,
now.
that's right. We got, that's, I don't know that guy's name. Is it, no, not Austin.
It is
there a race to
number
it?
6, Austin.
It is Austin,
Yeah.
yes.
Yes, it is.
I've seen Austin before. He's had some points.
Here is a shot made by Sushi.
Sushi is good.
Dishes a full course meal there. Lou gets the ball. There's a turnover made by the Mars. From the corner is Lou's shot.
Another offensive board. Kings are feasting. 110 points of offense.
Mars are just not being aggressive. They're not boxing out the Kings players. Even without Washburn on the court.
Oh, boy, a rebound assist. There we go. Manu controls that one. Around the back.
There's a crossover. Shakes off Lou. Gets the bucket coast to coast. All on his lonesome self.
The future is bright with Sammy Manu.
Yeah. Coach Robbie gave him his flowers in the pregame interview, saying that he's got a high ceiling in his future.
I agree. He's upside potential. One of the few guys gifted with what I call size. 6'6", Sammy Manu. Got to be the rookie of the year.
Yeah, first year already in the starting lineup and plays for the national team. Here comes another 2 by number 33. This is his season high now, logging in 25 points tonight.
And also the #1 overall draft pick
Yeah.
in his first inaugural season of the TPBL here on AXN Sports. Thanks everyone for joining us today. Typically we have closer games. Kings just very good, and Jeremy Lin sanity continues.
Yeah, we saw Jeremy Lin putting on a clinic. He's done for the rest of the game. JJ's shot bounces out.
Another board.
No interest.
I've stopped counting them now, but that's a lot of offensive boards. And when you give up offensive rebounds, they punish you. They hurt you so much with those extra attempts.
Absolutely. Right now.
Punishes you to the tune of 110 to 86.
Right now, the Kings have 64 rebounds to 36 for the Mars.
Yikes.
That's 19 second chance points over the Mars's 5 too.
At least it's a lovely day and I get to drive my scooter home after the game. No rain, don't have to wait around for a taxi. Sometimes it's hard for me to get out of here.
Indeed, indeed. Manu's season high was back in April 16th against the Kings as well. He scored 20 points. He fared pretty well up against the reigning champs. But this time around, it's only Sam and Sam alone.
Yeah, bright spot for the Mars. Sammy Mann with 25 points. That's the takeaway of today's game.
I mean, the fact that we saw a run in the third quarter, look, if they could do it once, they could possibly do it again. But this matchup is a wash for the Mars today.
And Sammy Mann, who has a season high 25, 21 was his previous season high.
Catch and shoot by McAllen is too short.
Takeaways from today's game, Kings are still good with 8 men on the roster. Jeremy Lin wasn't needed here much in the fourth quarter. 23 points for him and 25 leading all scorers, the youngest guy on the floor, I believe, Sammy Manu.
Well, they're still choosing to keep one import on the court. We have number 9, Carl, coming into the game.
And a heavy dose of imports from the Kings. They got 63 points from their imports. That number is much lower for the Mars.
Catch and shoot, off footing by JJ. Too much mustard.
Number 9 into the game. Welcome, Carl.
Give them some playoff experience. He pulls up for the long 2. Just like that, the new Taipei Kings dominate game 1 of the Group A series against the Taipei Taishin Mars. Mars got a lot of work to do, but they've done it once. They can do it again. Their matchup will be coming up on Sunday afternoon.
Sunday afternoon, back in here. Mars are gonna have to come to play. Thanks, Stacy, and thanks everyone for watching today. That's it for me, Scotty D.
Stay tuned for more TPBL playoffs in the upcoming weeks. My name is Taylor Chen, Scotty D here with me. We got the Kaohsiung Aquas playing the Formosa Dreamers tomorrow evening. That is going to be an exciting series to watch as we see the Taipei Taishin Mars walk off into the locker room. Thanks a lot, folks. Taylor Chen signing off.
非常新的一双款式哦，所以大家把你们的声音拿出来。恭喜这位小小球迷，大家给一点掌声！当然还要送出我们的实战签名球衣。 抢，不要抢，大家不要受伤，不要受伤，好，不要受伤，不要受伤，拿到就有了，拿到就有了 ，OK。
好，赛后我们访问到的是国王队的书豪。那书豪，请谈一下今天球队比较大比分差拿下胜利，抢下这个 Game One， 现在心情跟大家分享一下。
我们很感谢今天能够有比较好的表现，特别是因为我们可能蛮久没打比赛，有几个球员可能超过3个礼拜没有打一场比赛，所以还是怕有点生疏。可是今天我觉得大家带很好的心态，从开球就已经是蛮拼的，所以我觉得是很满意。
那因为球队现在是一个 split squad 嘛，就是在 Game One 有一半的球员在蒙古。那你们今天登陆9个人，来谈谈今天怎么样克服这样子的一个算劣势，拿下比赛的胜利。
Yeah， 我们一直笑，感觉是像夏天的一种感觉。我们一般的球员，一般的我们的重训教练，我们的 medical staff， 谁都是分一半。所以就是可能我们要找个办法。假设说绑脚什么都比较少人，所以我们也是就是尽量希望，我不知道他们好像现在在打，所以希望我们另外一半的球队在蒙古打 BCL， 他们希望替他们加油。
对，也帮另一边加油这样子。好，那第3节的时候，其实对方一度追到只剩下7分的这个差距。那谈谈那个时候球队怎么样稳住阵脚，收下比赛的胜利？
我们有一句话就是 "It's a game of runs"， 就是有时候我们打得好，有时候对手会打得好，就是不要过度的去想，只是回到当下。稳定情绪，然后一直打我们的球，所以我们知道他们追上的时候可能7、8分，我们都说 OK 好，冷静一下，我们要怎么去调整？那很快就是我觉得我们的进攻是爆发力是蛮大的，所以有时候如果我们投进或者转球就找到很好的机会，很快就可以拉开。那当然我们也是要第3节要打得比较好，肯定是这样子。
好，那最后有没有什么话想要跟现场的国王球迷来说一下，来喊话一下？
就是非常感谢大家，我知道真的是我一直说同一句话，就是你们花你们很努力的钱来买门票来看我们，这不是我一个我们觉得很理所当然的事，就是你们都是很努力自己去赚钱养家，然后来支持我们，真的是很感谢大家，所以希望我们可以给你们很好的表现。
谢谢书豪，辛苦了，谢谢。
好的，那我们这边也请书豪稍等一下，我们稍微先留步，因为我们今天呢要来进行的就是我们季后赛，我们第1场胜利，也就是我们要请到我们今天表现最好的书豪来进行我们的皇冠点灯仪式。那请我们的 Chris 把皇冠交到我们的书豪手上，大家给我们的书豪一点尖叫声，一起喊出林书豪，林书豪，林书豪，林书豪，我们请。